Alright boys, as you can tell by the title, I built a man cave. So I live here in beautiful Miami. On the same floor, I bought another penthouse for Kimbo Penthouses, and I decided to make that one into a man cave. So Jordan here messaged me on Instagram. He was Best Buy Furniture. He said he wants to do my man cave. You're from Philly, so you flew out next day. Same night, and he made this happen stupid fast. So this is the $3 million man cave.
You never know what someone's going through in their day-to-day.
Made me reevaluate myself. She was sick, that's all.
Block this out. You lose yourself, but then you become the person you didn't want to become.
But seriously though, it is completely in your hands. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Loft. Today I'm with the CEO of Best Buy Furniture, Jordan Lulu. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's going on? Nice to have
Thanks
you.
for coming on, man. I appreciate it. We got the team back today. Paige is back. Rob's
full
here.
Crew, full crew.
Here.
It's a full house.
But yeah, man, dude, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you coming through.
Thanks for having me.
I saw you obviously from SteveWillDoIt's video. You designed his Miami penthouse. Well, both of them, right? Is there two of them, right?
Yeah, the second video hasn't
You
come
look
out
a little
yet
closer to you too.
because his YouTube is suspended right now.
Yeah, they deleted his account, right?
Yeah, his whole entire channel.
That's insane.
It's fucked up.
That's so fucked.
What did you say the reasoning was behind that?
There's not like a bunch of reasons or like for my opinion is I just think that like it's just messed up and they've always like been against the Nelk boys and SteveWillDoIt and it's unfair, it's unjust. It's like he just gives back and he's such a nice guy and all of his videos he just really gives back to people and to shut him down and delete like 4 years, 5 years of like all your work and like it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think the brand's so big at this point that he can just make a channel tomorrow and it'll be right where it was before.
It's
Yeah, but
definitely going to come
yes.
back. It's definitely going to come back, but it sucks. It's really not.
Yeah,
not fair.
and I saw the video you were in, and the place is amazing. I thought the concept was really cool, and it did a really good job. That's why I was surprised. The video, like when I watched it, it was like, "Hey, this is Best Buy Furniture. This is Jordan from Philly." I was like, "Wait, what?" And then I went and looked you up, and you guys are right on. Like you guys are right on Grant. Like you aren't far at all. Like
Oh, you're on Grant Ave?
yeah, they're right by the LA Fitness.
Yeah.
They're like we drive past it every day.
Every day, yeah.
It's pretty hard to miss. It's
Yeah, it's crazy. So, and so you and your dad, it's a family business, right?
Yeah.
So, and when did this business start?
my dad started the business around like 21 years ago in South Jersey in Pennsauken. Opened up the first store and he went from there. And I've been working since like I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I never really thought like I'd work there for the rest of my life or do what I'd be doing right now, but it was just like you had to do what you had to do, and I was in the warehouse, like I moved my way up slowly into like social media and
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's pretty
so
cool.
sick.
So the obvious question is how the hell did SteveWillDoIt find you guys? How did he reach out, and how did this whole thing come about? Because
Especially Philly.
Exactly. You wouldn't think I'm thinking somewhere in Miami or something like that, but like you got like from Northeast Philly, like
I mean,
of all places.
If you looked at my Instagram before, like we've done deliveries to Florida. It's not like the hardest thing to do. I've done Florida. I've done a delivery to LA.
Okay.
But I actually messaged SteveWillDoIt and he saw the message and he was like, "What's your number?" Gave him my number. He called me right there.
It's amazing.
I was like, "What's up?"
It's as simple as that sometimes. Like people don't realize that.
Yeah,
like just
exactly,
literally
like-
reach out.
These are normal people. They're using their phones. If they're checking their request at that moment, you're gonna pop up. Like it's all like given time, right? It's like it has to be at that exact moment. Like when you send him that message, if he's looking at his request, he's gonna see it. I mean, obviously it's easier for me because I'm verified.
Yeah.
Like my name's Best Buy Furniture, and it's just like, what the fuck is Best Buy Furniture?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so you're gonna
Yeah, for sure.
But he also like posted the night before like his like penthouse. He was like, I just bought this penthouse, like and it was like fucked up. Like saw like the floor was mangled, like there was like nothing in there. So I messaged him. I was like, hey, like I'd love to be a part of any process. And then he called me, and then he was like, can you come out to Miami? And I was like, all right. Went there the same night, and then
I saw the video. Like, he was like, oh, you came out next day. Like, no, we actually went out the same night.
Same night. And then he said like he wanted a lot, you know, like he wanted to. Like I was expecting him to just want some furniture, but he was like, yeah, like I want to redo the floors, I want to redo this, I want to do that, I want to do this. Like he said he wanted a dinosaur, And I was like, all right. Like,
Yeah, he had a big ass. He's a big ass fucking
He said he
dinosaur.
wanted a dinosaur.
I said, no
That's
problem. And we went from there. We did it really fast. Had to help.
Yeah, what was that turnaround like?
Crazy. Like 3 weeks.
Damn.
sick.
For
Wow.
that's really impressive.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I mean, if
How long ago was this?
so very recently.
Yeah.
We did his man cave in June,
Okay.
like the whole month of June, and then I just built his gym, like the whole month of July. So he has another penthouse. Sorry.
No,
You're good.
You're good, bro.
It was loud. And like right in the same building, so he wanted to convert it into a gym. The guy's like a great like workout enthusiast. He loves to work out.
Yeah,
so.
they're the full send fitness now too.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So starting from the ground up, I mean, you mentioned how you made deliveries in Florida and LA, and even get verified on Instagram is a task in itself, especially for a furniture company. I feel like that's
It's hard.
that's a pretty like impressive task. Like how do you go from being verified and doing deliveries in LA? Like starting from the ground up, how did that come about? How did you build up that like your network and the brand?
I mean, I just like doing things differently, right?
Mm.
And following trends online, like on different social media platforms. I started with like smaller influencers, people that had like really like today like no following online, and just slowly like building my way up. I got to O'Malley. He's Meek Mill's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
like I started like with him, and he was helpful, and I just slowly like build my way up to
Right.
smaller and bigger. And
Do you
just-
pick their brain too, like to like networking wise? Like, I feel like because a lot of people always ask me, like, my thing is like I always go for the DMs. Like people always tell me like you're relentless in the DMs, but it has gotten me like to far places and has made me have a gigantic like connection.
For sure. I think like our generation today is just like the older generation may think that like sending a DM is like unprofessional and like, you should have sent them an email, but like it's the fastest way, and it's
Right.
like when people are usually in a comfortable space, like at home, sitting in their family in a good headspace. So if they're open that message, I think that you're definitely more
Inclined.
able. Yeah.
I also don't think that people realize that like these people are just people too.
Yeah.
Like that at the end of the day, people get nervous about like reaching out to somebody like, oh, it'll never happen to me, blah, blah, blah. Like I cannot tell you how many people have looked at me and been like, how have you done this? And I was like, I sent one message.
You just ask.
I
right?
literally just asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive. And like, I mean, even for some guests too, like I would just send a random message and like someone reply like quickly and someone reply a few days from then. You know what I mean? So having obviously working with SteveWillDoIt, what kind of doors does that open for you guys in terms of like Best Buy?
I mean, Steve is big. He's really runs the internet today. He's probably one of the biggest guys. We did a lot in there, so that's pretty helpful. Just
Speaks for itself.
to display like the things that we did in there and putting the dinosaur in there, and the relationship is to me is the most important rather than like the money, right? So
Right.
I think that the 2 months that I was there, I built a strong relationship with him, and you know the future is bright to do a lot more.
Right. Is there anything he's taught you just from speaking to him and picking his brain, kind of like how Paige hinted at?
I mean, like when you said these people are just like regular people, like yeah, they are regular people and normal people, but they don't work like regular and normal people, right? That's why SteveWillDoIt. Like people don't see the grind that like a lot of the Nelk boys and SteveWillDoIt like put in. It's years and years, and like every single day being in your life on camera, it's a lot of like social anxieties and pressure to like meet the audience, meet the fans. When like if a normal person just wants to chill on the weekend, like I can clock out right now. He can never clock out.
Yeah.
You know, so
true.
you're working 24/7. So like I did see like a massive and like strong work ethic from him and his entire team. He works really hard. He works out like I think like 2 times a day. You know,
It's amazing. That's awesome. Have you
and keeping up with like everything? And he's a nice guy. Like he lives in a building, so like he's not really secluded from people.
Normal living, yeah.
the public? Yeah.
People are coming up to him all day, and like he's nice. He's generous. You know, like,
Yeah.
he can out any person that he's next to. You know.
Yeah,
and
I kind of got that vibe just from like, because I've obviously watched a lot of their videos and like I watched the podcast and you know all that type of stuff, and he does seem like he comes off as a genuine good person because everyone around him says the same exact thing. And then I know he's friends with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Was he around when you were? Because I know they had a bit of a.
I did meet him.
Yeah, how's Danny in person?
He was really nice. He was like super nice. I expected him to, like Steve always says, he's like a really nice person. He seems really nice in all of his videos. So when I met him in person, he was like, dabbed me up and said hello, nice to meet you. Like a really, really nice guy. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. And that kind of goes to say like his brand is something completely different than who he actually is. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, it's people have like their brand and like who they are as a person off camera. I don't think like if people got to know who he is, he's actually a really nice guy. I don't think that like that stuff is, to be honest, real, like in my opinion.
Can you like walk through like a work week like now that you're like?
He asked me that like before. It varies. It's so different. Like every single day is different, right? So like I go where the work drags me to or where I need to be. It's sometimes I'm in Miami, sometimes I'm here. Like sometimes I go anywhere, right? To where the work is at. But my day to day is Best Buy Furniture. So we have like retail stores, we have employees, we have drivers, we have warehousing. But my dad also is there. He's working, and the business like runs itself. But like I run like the social media, like it's on my phone. I don't really have like anyone doing it. It's all me.
Right.
Like,
so
I post the stories. I'm on the DM.
Yeah. So what have you learned? Because so we were talking as well, and you went to Temple, for business, right? And you dropped out 3.5 years in.
Yeah. My junior year. I finished it like the first fall semester junior year. So I only had 3 semesters left to finish. Not worth it to me.
Yeah. So you didn't enjoy it at all, right?
Did you have any pressure when you did that?
Yeah, a lot. I was working at the time, like full time, and I was like going to school full time, like taking 5 classes and like trying to do some other things on the side, like trying to do some like a side hustle and like just grow my brand and grow the business. And like it's just like it wasn't to me something that I saw.
Yeah.
Like, doing in the future, right? Like I wasn't gonna graduate and
do your typical 9 to 5.
I mean, you weren't gonna work. I mean, you weren't gonna work for anyone else, right?
I was gonna go right back into the business anyway, and I was working there full time, and I just didn't think that, or I know that there was nothing else that I could have learned that they could have benefited me that I could have taken.
Sometimes I look back on college too, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I do agree with that.
Like,
I do agree with that.
I think that like all the professors are so outdated. Like today, like if you were to major in marketing, I guarantee you this professor does not know what's going on TikTok. Like he cannot tell you like, oh, like listen, this is the new trend that we're going to talk about this week. Like he has absolutely no idea, right? Like so it's in today's generation, like it's
so media driven.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, social media is huge. Like if you're every corporation is on social media, right? Like on all forms.
Or they're also looking to integrate into social media. That's like so
like everybody's on it. It's not a discussion of like
right.
Now people are talking about Web3. Like, are you going into the NFT space? Like being on social media is the norm today, and companies are paying top dollar for it. And I just think that not a lot of people know what they're doing. A lot of people are liars. A lot of people are scammers, like talking about SEO and pay-per-click. And there's a lot of BS out there and promises. And in school, like how you're bringing it up, it's just very outdated in that sense. To be like a doctor or a lawyer or like an accountant or something that you need to learn, I believe like that school is great. You need to learn that. But for business, I don't think that there's so much that they could apply there, especially at Temple. Like, I told him like Ivy Leagues are a lot better. Like they definitely have like the resources and the professors that know their stuff.
Yeah. I think when you go to the type of school you go to, you're paying for the networking connections that it offers you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, let's say you do go to Ivy League, you're at Penn. If you meet the right people, you can be set the second you graduate.
That's also with life too. Like
100%.
Your life is all about networking. If you have the ability, like I'm a firm believer in, if you can talk to somebody and you have the self-awareness to be able to network yourself, that is not a teachable skill.
100%, but you can learn it. I think you can at least
observe it,
guide yourself in the right way. It's something you are born with, but you can definitely pick up on it.
Yeah, but college, it's an opportunity to like network with 30,000 kids for 4 years, right? Like you don't really have that other like time. So college is good. It's great. Like there are definitely like there's pros and cons, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And And yeah, it's funny, but also if you can teach yourself like you did to network and to build a brand, I think that now save you a lot of time, money, stress. But it all depends. I know, Rob, you didn't go to school.
No, I did not go to college. I knew that right after high school.
Yeah.
Some people just know.
Yeah. School just wasn't my thing, but
I know so many people that did not go to college that are ridiculously successful.
Yeah.
Most of the people you see on the internet today didn't go to school or they don't believe in school, which is crazy, but you know.
I just think our generation and like the world that we live in is shifting so drastically.
Yeah.
And you just have to evolve with time.
Yeah, and if you can't evolve, then you know
you're gonna get left behind.
I just think that there's so much information online, and like corporations and businesses are starting to understand that. Like before, there wasn't really so much information. Like today, you could learn a skill like that on YouTube
University. You know,
right? So companies I think they're more inclined and willing to hire someone that is a freelancer and like spends his time like studying and mastered his skill
and understands it.
Now he's ready to get into the work field.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you believe is the most important part in branding and marketing? What are some things you look for, and what are some pillars that you've used to achieve the success you've begun to find?
Like everything, right? It's a lot of people look for like one thing, and like what's like the one thing, or like what's the best thing, or like what should I focus? Like you should focus your time on everything, and it's really hard to do everything and like give 100% to every single aspect of building your brand, but it's what you have to do. Like I think the most important thing today is social media. I think that being present online and being present on every single platform, like TikTok and Snapchat and Facebook, like they're still like the audience on Facebook is like a lot older, but like for me it's
right in your
really
lane,
big.
right?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of older people are shopping for furniture, so that demographic and that age group is really great for Facebook. And then you have Instagram for like millennials, and TikTok for the younger generation.
I also think that you have to be willing to embrace failure.
Yeah. What are some of the things you've? Like, are there times that the business is? I also want to get into the kind of man your dad is. I'm sure because he grew up in a different generation. So when starting this business, what made him want to get into furniture, and what led him to continuing 20 plus years later?
Like my whole family was in furniture. Like my grandpa, like my mom's dad had like a furniture store, and like at the time, like being Israeli, like he came from Israel, and being an immigrant in America and just like not really having so many resources, like the only thing to do was like buy and sell or like flip something or open up a business and do something, right? Like the big thing like 10 years before that was like electronic stores. Like every Israeli owned an electronics store in New York City and Philadelphia and like every major city. Like it was a major business,
right?
Because you didn't have like Best Buys and online and places
Amazon
to buy
and
all these stuff.
Right.
Back then there wasn't a phone, so like there were so many different types of electronics, like a CD player and like a desk and a this and a plug. And
everything's compacted to a phone now, so it's a little tough.
Like VCR players and DVD players and millions of things. So he was in cars right before. He had a car dealership, and then he sold that, and he saw more value in furniture. Like a lot of you're selling more furniture than you are selling cars.
Right. It's not expensive.
And he just
that's amazing.
Had to support his family. He already had me at the time.
Did he completely trust you when you like? Does he allow you to kind of just like a long leash, basically?
I mean, in the beginning, like it kind of like got like built its way there, right? I started like really like managing and like working at 18, and I took control of like the social media channels at that time, and like obviously like I know what I'm doing on social media because I grew up on social media, so like he had to often ask me like, hey, like what do you do here? So like I know what I'm doing on that, and my dad is really great in like the promotion campaigns, like the boosting on ads,
on
like
Facebook and Google.
He really like started like Facebook like a really long time ago, like, just because like he made a personal pages like, and he didn't want to put it on his name. He made it as Best Buy Furniture before like a lot of companies were actually online at the time. Like honestly, like there was no businesses on Facebook at the time. Like it wasn't a thing. It was usually just like a social media channel. So like he was a pioneer, I feel like in the Facebook space in the early business days, and I saw it as a big opportunity because we had more followers on Facebook than we did on Instagram. We had 5,000. So like I kind of took it upon myself. Like he saw like the growth and like what I was doing. So there, obviously he trusted me and he was like, all right, like shoot your shot. Like I go after it. And today he's definitely on board with what we're doing.
It's amazing. And where did you begin in terms of, so your dad hands you the social media, you take it upon yourself. Where did you start? Like, where did you learn?
He was posting like a bunch of like different stuff, like a lot of like sale, like promotional, like what every typical like furniture store does, like $5.99 promotional, like everything must go, like this weekend only, like blowout sale, which is great. Like that's my target audience, right? Like we sell like really great furniture for a really great price. Like we sell like Ashley furniture for half the cost. Like it's
okay.
So we really have like really good prices, and I wanted to display it like that, but not in like a promotional, like going out of business way, right?
Like in a, exactly. You see like the mealies and all that shit.
Exactly, right? It's just like a traditional way of like furniture retail. So I started like posting like just like nicer pictures of like mood shots of like a chest. And,
I do notice your pictures are really good. Like they're very high quality.
Like a while ago. I'm talking like
when you first started out. Yeah,
like I don't know if you scrolled all the way back there.
Yeah, I didn't go. I'm gonna do it right now, actually.
But so I started posting like nicer pictures, and then I started like just working with, like I said, like smaller influencers, and again these smaller influencers were living out of Philly, living in like the tri-state area, so it was great for me. And
when did you take that leap? Like, were you like, did you have like
from,
an
posting to like influencers? I mean, like, it's just like it's online today. Like every big company, or like especially like 5-6 years ago, like you saw like all these guys on Snapchat and like on Instagram and on Facebook, like swipe up, and like that's I knew that was the best way to generate leads, like generate traffic. Like, all right, sure, like handing out flyers is great, guerrilla marketing is great, paying online, Facebook and Instagram is great, promotional ads is great, boosting on Google, like every sort of digital marketing is great, but I think what our generation, I feel like, buys right away from that swipe up. Like it's not even like up for debate. It's instant. It's right away, instant gratification. So when we grew up on that, I saw it, like, so I knew, like,
you experienced it.
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a buyer. I'm a consumer.
Right.
I was one of those people buying. I'm still one of those people buying. So
and if you think about it, I mean, I saw you reached out to Lance 210. You worked with him.
I worked with Lance.
You did a store prank with Rob Diedrich, Ridiculousness, right?
No. So I did a prank with Lance, and MTV's Ridiculous.
They aired that.
Shared it, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It was fun. It was actually funny because they actually had Jake Paul on.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's sick.
Like on that episode.
And you watched the video? Yeah, what was his reaction?
Was that like a surreal moment for you?
What?
Like having like Jake Paul like watch your video? Like
No. So like the funny thing about it was like it premiered while I was at his house, because I furnished his house, and he was like,
Jake's house.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico or LA?
No, in LA.
The big mansion in LA.
Right before he left LA, I did his house.
That's sick.
That's pretty intense. So you met him, right?
Yeah. So like back to what like Paige was asking me, like I started with like all these micro guys, and doing pranks, doing videos, just doing anything that like I thought was like cool, funny, different, like from traditional furniture.
100%. And
sales. Like I did like just a bunch of funny stuff, and
that's awesome.
Built my way. Like I did before Lance, I worked with Ed Bassmaster.
Oh, he's from Morrell Park.
Yeah,
he's from around here too.
He's like an OG.
So that video is our best video. It went like super viral. I think today it has like 40 million.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He's a good dude too.
It was so funny.
So, and I think you have something to offer. Like you guys have obviously furniture.
Exactly. I like. I'm not gonna talk like the deals and discuss everything that I did with each guy, but I have something to offer them, right?
Exactly.
So like when you want to work with these guys, they're automatically going to come to you and be like, all right, here's my price. You want me to do a video? I charge $25,000. I charge $30,000. But I always built a way to build a deal to say, okay, I'll give you some furniture and I'll give you some money and we can work.
It's very
so
common.
I always made sure to work a deal.
Get the barter.
It's it's very common. I mean, it's smart too, because you have the resources of furniture that you put money into. So why not offer that?
Everybody needs something, like a mattress. I can offer you a better mattress. I can offer you better sleep. I can offer you
100%. 100%. And so, what was so when you were working with Jake Paul, I wanted to get into that too, because how did that come about? Did you reach out to him too?
Yeah, I just DM'd him.
That's awesome.
I
Right?
just DM'd him.
He was just like,
he saw it.
yeah,
And he
let's
was
do
like,
it.
yeah, let's do it.
Especially once you have like the storyline behind it, like you started with that, like the micro influencers and stuff. Like you have to build your way up to that too. Like I mean, big on shooting for the stars, go for it. Like send that DM, whatever. But like to have that like book of business behind you too drives a lot more like influence behind it as well.
Definitely, it's a real brand that people can see, and there's a retail stores behind it. It's not just like some guy on Instagram.
Also, I think the
like,
personal,
hey, I can do it, like, you know,
100%, bro.
the personal aspect behind it is so huge too. Like my thing is like if you have a personality and you can sit there and you can bullshit with your customers and stuff too and be like, hey, like I can be one of the guys too, but like also like I'm here for business. Like let's be able to talk.
No, like I just feel like we do stuff different. We're not like as serious as like,
which is so big. Like, you know, people flock towards that. People love that. Like I think that that's the best way about networking too. Like a lot of people like ask me to like, how have you gotten involved with this or how? And I always say I'm like I just being myself.
Yeah.
Like quite literally just being myself.
It's the easiest thing to do.
It's the easiest thing to do.
You can't fake being somebody you're not, because then you try to sell that to somebody. We just had this conversation. It just doesn't work.
And it makes your life so much easier.
Exactly. Just be yourself.
So much easier. Like I'm not gonna go into some like. I like networking over the last weekend and stuff too. Like I met some pretty big names and stuff, but it's like I really reflected back on it and I was like, never once did I walk into a room nervous. Yeah. Like I was completely myself. If you're not gonna like me, you're not gonna like me. But like you're gonna get me like for me.
And if once you realize that you're meant to be there, I think that kind of changes.
That comes with that level of confidence in yourself though too. If you don't have that confidence level, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, and you have a brand behind yourself, so you can walk through and say, hey, I can offer this to you.
Yeah.
You know, instead of having to hustle or feel like you have to like get someone to do something for you, like you're doing something for them. I saw you worked with Derek Barnett as well, right? The Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Were you working with like a lot of the team, or was he somebody that like you just randomly reached out to?
I worked with a few players from the Eagles. Like I've just messaged some of them, and they were like, yeah, like I need this, I need that, and then like he told his friend like, hey, I
that's what's huge about networking too, is like referrals.
For sure. Like that's how all the customers come in, like, right? So you tell, hey, I got this from here, and all right, let me 100%. Go check that out. Like it's just word of mouth.
So what's the next evolution of Best Buy Furniture?
We're really focusing on like our e-commerce website and like trying to drop ship like nationwide. Like I do have some like expressible and shippable items that I can drop ship, but I want to make the entire website like a bigger e-commerce website and available to ship nationwide and in stock and right away.
Okay.
And I don't know, you know, like there's so many different ways. Like right now, I'm focusing on the website and building that and focusing on like the interior design and building that aspect.
That's amazing. And this is all stuff you're just teaching yourself. You're kind of just throwing yourself in the fire, or at least educating yourself a little bit.
I mean, I never went to school for interior design, but
is it something you would say you're passionate about?
Interior design?
Yeah,
no.
what are you?
I was gonna say.
No, I mean, like I'm not passionate about furniture either, but you have to be passionate about your business. Like the way I'll talk about furniture, you'll think I have a fetish. You couldn't
even tell.
But like, you know, but like at the end of the day, like it is what it is. Like if my family had a toilet paper company and like it made money and it supported my family and millions of other workers and people, and I would do what I need to do. So. Am I passionate about it? No, but am I passionate about my business and what I do? Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm definitely passionate about the work that I do.
I love that.
It's bigger than just like the industry that you're in, right? Like.
Yeah.
So.
When did you realize that you were passionate about the business? Because obviously anyone can start in a business and say they're passionate about it, but what was there a moment that you
from a like a little kid, you know, like you
especially because it was a like family. Yeah.
Your dad's like going to work, like he's not. He's going to like, you know, what's bringing us. Like if I'm asking him for something, he'd be like, all right, like, you know, like the business is this way, it's this way. It's like I always knew like what was going on with the business, and I knew like it was our only means of money.
Yeah.
So like knowing that like even if my dad had a job and worked at like a company, like I would value the company that he works for because I don't have
It's
a
you.
job. Like I'm not paying for anything. Like he's the guy like
100%, bro.
bringing home the money. My mom didn't work, so.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I do. I have a younger brother and a younger sister.
Are they in the business?
They're not. My brother is in Pitt. He's
Ooh,
That's nice. awesome.
going to be a junior. He's learning computer science,
Oh hell yeah.
which is great.
Sick industry to get into.
Hopefully he'll come in and like
Help out
with
run
the
back end
e-commerce
stuff,
and
yeah.
back end website. And my sister is 15.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Which-
she's going to be a sophomore.
Well,
right
they're
now.
young too, so like
Yeah.
you don't know. They could probably fall right into
Yeah.
that business too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna bring my. It's my dream to bring my brother into
Yeah,
the business.
absolutely.
So I'd love to work with more family, and like the bigger the business grows, like the more people that you need on your team, especially like family. Family is a big thing in business, and like having people that you trust in business. So
Yeah.
my brother is like.
Can you dive into that
trust
too,
him.
like and like how much that is like a huge value to you in regards to like being able to trust people that you.
Becky.
It could be a sensitive topic to some because I feel like you have to operate in a way that people are fucking you or like 24/7. Even because
Like
you're-
as in the aspect of like not keeping your expectations high.
not
you
your
say?
expectations, but like just keeping your guard up,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like on all times, like 24/7, you have to keep your guard up because the second that you get naive, people
Will
see
fuck
it,
you.
see it as an opportunity to go in. You know, so if people know that you're a
Vulnerable.
crazy, and you're always thinking, oh, this guy's doing like not that I'm accusing anyone of stealing or doing anything like that. I can trust people.
Yeah.
Like I have employees that I trust with money, with my business, with keys to everything. I'll give them my life. I trust them. My employees because they're my family. But at the end of the day, like I have to have in the back of your head that anybody, even like your closest family, like you see stories of brothers.
Yeah.
Not that I ever wish or can see or comprehend my brother doing something like that, but I feel like you have to always operate in a way that you're safe, right? Like if it's writing contracts, if it's writing just agreements that make it safe and compliant to go forward.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Right? So
And as the trust
Cover your ass.
gets built, right?
and that's how the trust gets built when there's a foundation, right? Like today, like you can't I can't just do business off a handshake.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God,
because
yeah.
people fuck you left and right.
Yeah.
People will burn you left and right. I've gotten fucked. I've gotten taken advantage of many times, and it's not.
How
fun.
would you
It's
say
not-
you recover from that?
On to the next.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that though. Like a lot of people will fall short.
About failure. Like I don't care about failure. Like
That's
I don't
the
give a
biggest
shit.
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
you
To
just,
push you
like-
towards success. So many
Yeah.
people care and they fixate on that failure.
Yeah.
If you cannot pick yourself up and be like, I'm gonna still wake up tomorrow morning and I gotta figure this out, like, fuck it.
Listen, taking hits is like every day. You know,
Yeah.
it's not hard to.
Brush it off. Get the fuck up.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Listen, I don't know. Everybody has a different like
Yeah.
brain and wakes
Yeah.
up and has a different mentality on like their day to day and like their mentality. Like I believe that like I just don't really care and like I just move on and keep pushing and keep growing because like it's you're going up on the journey. So like
Yeah.
you fall, you
Yeah.
get up. Like you just need one time to make it.
Exactly.
You know?
All it takes
So-
is one.
Exactly.
All it takes is one.
Like for rappers, like you come out with 1,000 shit songs, but you come out
Yeah.
with one, like
You change your life. Yeah.
Even
You're
like,
like
I mean, you see it with
family's life.
TikTok. You
Yeah.
see how many people are taking off with TikTok?
One
like
video.
One video.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is too is like you have to realize that there's gonna be like I had a conversation with somebody the other day and I was like talking about being influential on social media and how it is sometimes annoying when like people reach out to you and there's haters and you kind of get that in your mind and you're like, oh, I want to respond to this person or blah blah blah. My thing is in life is like, okay, you have a platform now, so you have haters that are blatantly like using that space to be able to communicate how much they hate you or what they don't like about you or which one I think it's a direct reflection of themselves, but also you have to remember like when you don't have a platform, you still have those haters. They're just not blatantly putting that out there.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how many people fucking probably hate me or they
Nah,
hate
but-
on stuff that I do? Like,
But it's a lot easier to to talk shit when you're behind
You're
your
behind a
phone
screen.
and you're behind a username that people don't know you, right?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
in real life, people are not gonna say this stuff.
Yeah, and I think real people that are actually hustling and chasing something aren't focused on someone else trying something.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know
my
what I
God.
mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like anyone who's hustling, who's actually really hustling, whoever sees someone else really hustling,
They understand.
he's gonna actually support his business. He's gonna leave a comment. He's gonna post it on his story.
Anything.
He's gonna
Mm-hmm.
do something to at least support. There's not just things that cost money. There's free support. There's
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
moral support, emotional support. To, hey, how you doing? You know, anything that
Yeah.
that could help support
Exactly.
someone in what they're doing.
Yeah, and that kind of leads to networking as well. And I think one of the most important things that I'm learning is in any type of interaction or exchange is to add value in some type of way. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Give and take. That's life.
Exactly, and it's just how it is. You know, a lot of people aren't gonna give things for free. There's always something that they're looking for. It could be literally anything. Like it's something as small as, hey, I'll buy you a shot later. I'll buy you food. You know, just simple
It
exchanges.
doesn't even need to be money. It could be like,
Exactly.
like you're funny. I like having you around because like you make me feel good.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, and
Exactly.
Other, like it could be a billionaire. Like all of his other friends are billionaires, but he likes you because you're the only guy that's funny. All of his other friends are really
It's
smart.
so
and,
True.
fucking true.
like
Yeah, man, absolutely. And so when obviously you're in a very like, hustle phase of your life. Does that
How old are you?
24.
Okay.
20,
Holy
24.
shit, Jordan.
Young man, yeah. So like, how does that affect your personal life? I mean, we hit on it a little bit, but what's
I
your
mean, like
personal
I'm
life?
not really like the one to like I said, like we talked about before. Like I don't really love like going out. You know, like I like going out to celebrate. Like if it's a friend's birthday or like a family member's birthday, like I'll go out like really willingly and it'll be a great time. And New Year's or like a big event, Memorial Day weekend, like we have a lot of them.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's like going out every weekend is like not really my thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, like
That's awesome that you learned that at a very young age.
I mean, I think it's because I had a fake ID like so young, you know.
Dude,
Yeah.
seriously, that's what it comes
Philly
down
people
to.
start drinking at like
Yeah,
13.
you know, like so.
I remember going into college too, and everybody's like frat party. I was like, dude,
I was going to
I'm
I
chilling.
was going to rumor at like 17, 18
Yeah.
years
That's
old.
wild,
you know?
man.
So
You experience it at such a young age, and your body can handle
yeah,
it.
so it's like I'm not really a big drinker, so like I don't really like care for that. And Philly, again, like we talked about it before, it doesn't have like the best nightlife either. It's not like, oh my god, you're missing out on like
Yeah,
the greatest event.
I'll
it's
say-
usually losers that are out anyway.
I'll say that. I'll say this
it's
though.
usually,
Not hating on
like,
it.
Like you
Yeah.
just go out and then you come back like more disappointed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I feel like shit. Great.
I do think Philly is going in the right direction though.
yeah, it's
But-
almost. Listen, I love Philly. Listen, I do. I just.
But I know
again,
you're saying that.
has its pros and cons, right?
For
Yeah,
sure.
It has its pros and cons. Like
Yeah.
like every city.
Yeah,
Like every
100%.
city. But
When you were out there with Steve, what were you doing on day to day? Obviously, we were working, but when you were outside
like,
of work,
working like crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was putting in like 18-hour days sometimes in there.
crazy.
I was working from like 8.
Gotta
like,
do what you
until,
gotta
like,
do.
Really late.
Wait, so you were just pulling.
after work. It was like I
Ain't nothing to it
Ubered
but to
and
do it.
showered and
Worked
went to sleep
again.
and then did the same exact thing, right? So
Yeah.
you didn't really have time to do anything else. Like
Right, yeah. And you,
I went out once.
And that's why you went there too. Like you went
yeah, I
there
went
to
to
work.
work. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't really
Yeah.
go there to do anything else. It was summer in Miami. It's hot as shit. Like
and I can,
humidity.
yeah, and I can imagine. I mean, you're pulling strings. I mean, getting a dinosaur itself is probably a tough task in itself.
It was a nightmare. It looked fun. You know,
It came
You're
out.
like-
it
was fun.
But that's with a lot of
it
shit
was
though.
fun. Like
Yeah.
looking back on it, like it was fun. It was a great time. But every day was a nightmare. Every day was a mission. It was Mission Impossible. Like
right.
going through the building, there were security guards and like they didn't have the like appointments because it's a building and like you only are allowed to come in like when you schedule it, and like it takes months to get an
Right.
appointment, and we didn't
Yeah.
obviously schedule anything, so it was getting through that and like, getting in the elevator, and like if you see the video and like the stuff that went in there, there was like a dinosaur, there was a motorcycle, there was a vending
Yeah.
machine that went in there, like really big things that
Yeah.
it's not just you're opening a door to a house or a backyard or you know
Yeah.
we deliver furniture every day, but
Can you basically accommodate anything that your customers ask you?
yeah, I'll do anything.
Yeah.
If like the price is right.
Well, yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like,
For sure.
yeah.
All things furniture, we have it all. Mattresses, decor, accessories, I have all that. But like if someone asks me to delve into like floor and decor and redo their bathroom and redo their shower or redo any, like I'll do that. But
Did you hire contractors to come
Yeah.
in, different
Yeah.
companies stuff? Right, I can imagine that.
I mean I'm not a general contractor. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And so
That's a great relationship to have too. Is like, I mean, that's another growing side of the business too. Is creating those relationships with the general contractors that you can trust.
Exactly.
There's so much, and like people don't realize either the paperwork that goes into that. Like, I was doing project management for a concrete company. It was a fucking nightmare. Like the paperwork, like the legality towards it. Like people don't realize how much it actually takes to just do that. Like somebody might look at like somebody that's like, okay, like doing videos on YouTube and stuff like that. Oh my God, his life's crazy. It's great. But like you said, like you have to take a step back and realize like they are working 24/7.
Yeah.
When you're in a business like that and you're doing all the, like, it's not like you go there, you bullshit, you're at Jake Paul's house, you're bringing in a dinosaur to Steve's house, like, and then there's paperwork, there's phone calls, there's a million other people that you need to trust and keep in contact. It's a lot of work.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Coming out of that experience, what has it taught you? Like, what is something you picked up on that you may not have learned before just from being involved in that and working so damn hard?
I mean, just being relentless in your work, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just like you have to get it done.
You have to.
Yeah.
Many times, you know, like you thought like the job was gonna fail, and like there was like a pipes that burst, crazy like water damage in like one of the days.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like these kids had like these marble slabs. They pushed them into the door and ended up falling back on the water pipes. Two of the main pipes burst.
Jesus.
I fell, I slipped, ripped up my whole chest. Water didn't stop for like 20 minutes, honestly. So like I thought the job was over.
I feel like you have to keep calm in those moments though.
I mean, I was not calm at all. Filling up buckets and like spilling it out.
Yeah.
And then you know, just I built a dinosaur that same day. Right after we dried the water, we built a dinosaur.
Yeah. That's what I kind of meant in like the aspect of like calm, like being able to like not be like fuck this.
I'm
like
I'm not calm at all.
Like not calm, but like I'm gonna
honest,
keep
like,
pushing.
Like it's exactly like
I'm gonna. That's what I kind of meant. Like more so like.
I wish you could. Like I was more calm at every moment, but like, the way
shit
that
happens.
I can only imagine.
I really wish like it's something that I need to focus on more. But the way that I work, it's just like I'm crazy in my work, and I think that like if you're not, then
that's
like the calmer that when I'm calm, I'm relaxed, I'm laid back. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? If I don't care, then why am I here?
Yeah.
So like, if I'm calm,
it's your
why are you here?
I think that goes like back to like kind of full circle moment where like that's where your passion shows.
Yeah.
It's like your passion shows there, but you're willing to figure it the fuck out.
That's how you know when you do act like that, when you're passionate about it, because like you kind of said, if you're not passionate about it, why are you even doing it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
don't get me wrong, I'd probably look at those kids and be like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Dude, I can only imagine, man. Like,
but like it is what it is, right? Like I just
exactly.
Figure it the fuck out.
I personally, I just like don't care what like anyone else like thinks.
As long as you're there to get a job done.
I got it done. So
yeah.
You have a job to do, and you have a distinct, and that always comes from preparation. And we were talking about before, like on another pod, like the confidence comes from the work you put in, and that. You know, the preparation breeds the confidence, and the confidence shows in whatever you do.
And that's where your value comes into play. Like, that's why people value you. That's why you continue to get these jobs. Like, a lot of people will back down in moments like that and be like, this is too much.
Because
like,
it's hard.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gotta have that dog in you.
Yeah.
A lot of I think a lot of people would have left that job. Like
I mean, dude, I can imagine if I just saw a pipe burst and these two little kids are just like,
no, it would have been out. Like,
I don't know. Whatever. That's wild, man. I mean, so
respect.
Have you had any other experiences where you just felt like you needed to push yourself harder than you ever been pushed before?
I mean, like some days when you're just like tired, like it's like a mission to get up, you know. Like, especially in like these winters, like my room gets like colder. Like sometimes it's just like you don't want to work. I'm tired. I'm normal. I'm not like a robot. But I just feel like every day is another mission. Every day is like doing something else. So like I'm always like that.
Yeah.
Like
what gets you through it? Just like
the vision, like the end result, the end goal of like what I'm doing, what I'm building.
Right. Where do you want Best Buy to be in 5 years?
A few other locations. Like I want to be booming, like online, and hopefully do a lot more stuff. We have a lot of stuff planned. We have a lot of stuff in the works that we're trying to do.
Oh yeah.
Is there anyone specific that like you've had your eye on where you're like, I would love to
I love Justin Bieber. Like,
Hey, let's go. Bieber's the man.
I'd love to work with Justin Bieber.
Bieber's the man.
And, like, I really I believe in, like, I can get to him.
Manifestation,
you know,
right?
It's like it's
you gotta
messaging him is not possible. He'll never see my message. Like,
I can only imagine what his inbox looks like.
Yeah, it's like billions.
But that's where it comes into play, where we kind of go back to like the micro influencers.
You know, someone
just
that can get to one.
Exactly.
And I'm sure like one guy that I'm gonna work with is gonna post his story that Justin Bieber follows, and he's gonna be like, yo, like I want one of those. Like, so it'll get there. But
you know what I heard?
time,
This is kind of like a like kind of a transition, but I heard through the grapevine that the best way to get to somebody too that you want to get to, like specifically, especially if they have like a book or like something out there, is to go through their publicist, because their publicist isn't doing shit.
So this is pretty insightful information. Like, if you really want to get someone, it's like I wouldn't say like stalking them, but like I don't think it's possible to like get that information on the first day of you going on their Instagram, right? Like, if you're following someone over time, now you know who's in their circle. So once you know who's in their circle, who's his assistant, who's his videographer, who's his, you know, like everyone who's on his team, because those people are a lot more likely to.
That's what I do. I also look at their schedule.
They're in his day to day, right? So if they're in his day to day and like they're in his ear, so they're a lot more likely to to be like, shoot this guy, rather than his publicist, right? The publicist is a lot further in degrees than his videographer, his editor, people that are living with like these people, right? So
you may not get 1 million DMs a day.
Exactly.
You know?
You'd be surprised too. Some of these people are like you and me, like they'll have like 1,000, 2,000 followers, and you can hit them up, and they're like,
I mean, that's how I got Lane Johnson.
Accessible.
I mean, that's how I got Lane Johnson for my job. We were going to do a whole campaign with him. Spoke to his manager on the phone, email for a few weeks, and then he gave us his asking price, and it wasn't for us at the time. But yeah, dude, that's actually very good information that a lot of people can take. Is that find it, and you don't have to go all macro in the beginning, but you just build your way up to those people. Like that's through natural, organic relationships, not like any fake shit, but like just understanding you, like if there's someone you want to meet or you want to work with.
I feel like having something to offer, like
exactly.
Having I want to meet you. Like a lot of people.
Cool, like that's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like that's what I like. Like the guy that I opened my message for. That's what he said. Like, it's annoying. Like to be that guy, especially like
a lot of people too. Like
don't be that guy.
Because I'm not all the time like on Instagram or like someone that's going through their like request finally, and then like you open that like stupid message. It's just
a lot of people will like go to like the furthest extent to like try and say something funny, or like honestly even going after somebody and saying something mean just to grab their attention, and like people fucking hate that.
I would hate if somebody said something mean to me. I would hate that.
Oh my god. Well, people get that all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
Like, I believe like bad, like there is no such thing as bad press, right? Like I want these people to like, talk about you. I mean,
yes,
100%.
My name's in your mouth. Great.
Exactly.
Amazing.
You know, like that's how you get famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how you get famous. That's how you go viral. Like when people are talking shit.
Yeah.
Like,
give it to me.
It's a sap.
I love it.
Everyone has gotten shit talked about them at one point. Like people hated Justin Bieber at one point. People hated this guy at one point.
That have done something meaningful.
People go through moods.
You know what's you know what's interesting, and this kind of goes all back to what like kind of the path that your furniture, Best Buy furniture is taken. I watched a video on because I was very curious about it, and you obviously see Logan Paul now, and he's somebody that I study. Like I study him because I think he's just so. I think what he does is smart.
He's really smart.
He can be cringy sometimes, but everyone can be cringy. Whatever.
I don't think he's cringy at all. I think
he's a businessman.
Sometimes cringy looks like that on camera. Like the guy's really cool in real life. Like,
he's probably,
you don't know what I'm like.
I think Logan's probably a cool ass dude in real life, and so I was studying him, and I watched a video on his redemption arc because of the whole suicide farce. I used to watch his vlogs a lot, and so he had the suicide farce thing, came back, and then the opportunity he had was with the fight with KSI, right? When he took that fight, that kind of sort of began his building, like his reputation coming back.
I don't think that the fight I think that he was on the rise regardless.
Yeah, but it was the opportunity that he had.
He's that guy, you know what I'm saying? Like he's like an alpha, like
100%. And like,
once you have that vision and you have that goal and you're relentless about it, nothing's coming in your way.
Well, you know what it is too. I think is that he had the fight, and then he started the podcast Impulsive, and it's the longer form content. It's not 7 minutes of just crazy chaos, like trying to get as many watch time as possible. So people are kind of understand like, hey, this dude's actually sort of normal, and he actually is like a deep person, and like
Most people are.
yeah, yeah, and it's like, but that built their respect up, and the point I'm kind of getting at is that he took any opportunity he had, to be able to build himself back up, because that's what he needed to do in that point of his life. But he took the opportunities necessary, and now just got signed to the WWE.
Yeah,
his prime. Everyone wants to work with him now because of that, and I think just like taking your opportunity and find it can be as big or small, and understanding that in the grand scheme of things that it'll work out if you just take the everything compounds. Like
you also have to be willing to take a risk. Like there's so many people in media and stuff now too. Like you have to be able to take a step back and see like where trends are going and everything. And like those people just have that.
Yeah.
Like they're smart enough. Like they know what they're doing. Like they're gonna reach that goal regardless, and they don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
But it's like what you said before. Like so many people are getting famous off like one video, like one song, but not all of them are like staying relevant.
Because you're trying like the thing is like you're trying for that one video.
Exactly.
Like before you even try for that one video, like what is your end goal? Like how are you go what step are you going to take next? Like you always have to be thinking about.
And Logan and Jake were those guys. They were those guys on Vine. So
But I think that's the same way with your company. You thought about that and the way that media was working prior to companies like that taking off. That is I think that from a outsider is why you stand out.
Just like pivoting to like everything that's like popping off now, like hitting the NFT space. Like I would love to, like there's this new NFT gallery that's like coming out, so like trying to get into, we're building something in there. So like anything that's new, anything that's fresh, I would
dive into
get
it.
into it. You know? You don't want to be like one asking what is that, or like.
And the thing is, and I think what like kind of steers people away from a lot is when like nobody can see that vision, because a lot of people don't think like you, and you have to be able to be like, I don't care. I literally don't care. Like I'm gonna dive into this, and if it flops, it flops. Like cool, on to the next.
Sometimes you don't see it. Like me, like right. So like, but I know that something is there.
Yeah.
So
follow your gut.
Exactly. You just work towards something, and
I would rather do something and flop and look like an idiot and learn from it and be able to maneuver into the next space that I want to create.
Yeah, and regardless, building off of that, when you start something or you're building something, no one's going to understand it in the beginning. Right. Everyone's going to question what it is or maybe talk shit about it. And then, as like kind of mentioned before, as long as you have a destination, when you finally reach it, that's when everyone gets that respect. Oh shit, like this is what he meant the whole time. It's like, it's not a one-day thing. It's not an overnight thing. But
then everybody's sucking your dick.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a good example of that is he's very public about is Jack Harlow as well. I think he talks a lot about that in a lot of his interviews too. Like he would have like 8 people in the crowd of one of his shows. Travis Scott, exactly, man.
But like even in business, like I don't know if you guys are familiar with the company GoPuff.
Yeah.
So one of my best friends, his cousin, is the owner of GoPuff, and just like you said, they didn't know what they were building. They started like an on-demand delivery service, which was revolutionary at the time. Yeah. But it was more so for like college, like accessories, like drinks and cups and like hookah, like, and, like smoking accessories.
Yeah, 100%.
It was like a 24/7 smoke shop. And then now they sell everything.
Yeah, right? Everything.
And they've gotten hate, and people talk shit on them, and till this day people talk shit on them. But if
what are you doing?
If people listen to everyone, then everyone would be a loser.
Yeah,
so
that's very true.
If you know what you're doing and just
and you believe in something, just do it.
Yeah. Success is probably the loneliest road to take.
But admitting and realizing when you're not making money is also something.
It's humbling.
That people need to realize too. Some people are like, oh, like, no, I'm not stopping. Like, you have to know when to let go of something as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And
what's that quote about insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again is considered insanity.
And expecting it
the different result.
Yeah, and it's true. And sometimes you need to pivot, and pivoting is huge in anything, because like we kind of mentioned before, things are changing, and the school system should change. A lot of businesses, the way they're look
at Sears, you know what I mean? Like
they're out of business, right?
They've been out of business.
Yeah,
and they had the opportunity to blow. I read somewhere that a lot of people reached out to them in regards to website, and like they're like, nah, like we're gonna focus on our retail stores. And
Retail is
But,
it's on the way out, man.
I mean, it depends for what. Like, I truly believe that cars are always gonna be
And
an industry that
not because you're on your and furniture exactly
and furniture and I think that some other stores are gonna exist. People, I think that aspect of shopping is different than a store. Right?
Yeah.
I think that these like massive, like huge, like real estate are gonna end, but like the main stores are gonna have like their retail. Like Zara is always. I think that Zara will always have like at least like one major flagship store in every city. Like New York City's not closing down its doors and saying, "Oh, we're gonna have a website now in the metaverse." Like Soho is not going out of business.
Exactly.
Right? Like and the people that are like in love and so obsessed with the future, like always like say that and try to sell that, but
you have to be realistic too.
Retail is changing. Like I definitely.
It's not going away.
You have to
changing.
adapt. You don't have to freaking.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. It's actually kind of funny. So like I brought up Mealy's before. And the reason why I bring that up is because and I always think that when you're shopping, you're in a store, it should be an experience, right? In some form of, right? Exactly. So I was super young. My parents would like buy furniture, some bed or something, and they had this little snack bar spot. And it was like, they had like arcade games that had like all this stuff in there. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm a little kid. I'm taking all the candy, all the stuff. And I'm like, I remembered that, you know? Right. And with furniture, because I had furniture, I was at a furniture store. But to me, it's like if you're able to create an experience for somebody, make it memorable, like how they remember how they felt when you're in your store. I think that's where retail and stores can stay.
Because you can have a shitty time. Yeah, you know what I mean, and be like, I'm never going back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and two, also listening to what people have to say. Like Sears didn't listen, for sure. And you know, having your ears open and taking in all the information possible.
Times change.
Yeah, and
you can't be stuck.
Yeah, and so I watch Shark Tank a lot. I think it's an amazing, one of the best shows ever made. And so it's funny, like Mark Cuban, he's a billionaire, successful guy, but something I've noticed is he always listens to what everyone else has to say before he chimes in, and he usually gets the deal because, you know, A, he's Mark Cuban, but B, also he makes the right deals, and he takes in all the information. And
I mean, you never want to be the first one to give an offer.
Exactly.
In any deal, right? You always want to hear what the other one's saying, because then you can always end up with a better deal.
Exactly, 100%, man. Well, so
if you had to give like a piece of advice to somebody that is in a space of like media and promoting their own business, what would you say?
Get on every single social media platform and go crazy.
Hammer away.
Go crazy. Post every single thing and post every single day and just go crazy and shoot for the stars.
Go crazy. Go stupid.
Just see what sticks, right?
Follow every single trend. Post every single trend. Post every single song. Like today, there's a lot of things that go behind like
algorithms and stuff.
It's not as easy as just like, oh, like post a picture every single day. Like, no, you gotta like have the song, have the hashtag, have
it's the substance.
Like, you know, like especially on TikTok, like what songs are trending right now? Like what is the trend that is doing right now? Like what should I do? Like what meme is out right now?
Right. So
if you're not like a big social media person, like
you should,
and you want to be in a social media job, like I don't think it's like you have to like be
do
on
the
social
work.
media
or hire somebody
and be consistent.
That knows what's going on in the industry.
Exactly.
Like as a whole.
Yeah, knowledge is power, especially now more today. You know,
than ever. Like
the new job I just got that I was telling you about, like this is a brand new position for them, and so it's a large.
It's a great space for you to be in.
Yeah, it's like a large organization, and they're looking for someone who does the social media and knows social media, and I had to go through like 4 interviews, and it was ridiculous, but it was worth it in the end, and it's something I'm really passionate about. But the story is that like people are opening new jobs for this. You know, if you're able to learn like the platforms and learn how to you know, gauge an audience or use your audience.
We're entering a different age of technology and media.
Yeah, 100%.
And you have to adapt.
Web3.
Yeah, yeah. And listen, Best Buy Furniture is one of the best to do. That you guys have done. I mean, you guys have been able to incorporate your business with the influencer market, which has been able to. I mean, it's how I found you, right? And
who would you say was your biggest client?
That'd be Steve, right?
I worked with Scott Disick. If he's like a bigger like.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
A bigger name than Steve, but Steve was like the biggest.
Full send rules the world right now, and that's
like
just
the biggest guys on the internet today.
Yeah, dude, that's.
They just had Elon Musk on their
crazy
podcast. That's fucking
he was there
wild.
for what, 3.5 hours? The episode's like 2.5 hours.
It was a great episode. I watched the whole thing.
Did you watch it
yet?
I'm gonna have to go watch it. Wait, one last thing.
I heard about it this weekend.
What are your thoughts? Since we're talking about trending topics, what are your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
I love him.
I gotta ask.
All right, I shouldn't have said that on camera.
You should work with him.
But
you should work with him.
I just think it's. I don't believe in a lot, but
I'm not one to judge, like, right, from a video, like right, it's like what we brought up about Tekashi 6ix9ine, like, oh, like, this is that type of guy. Or like,
Yeah.
So for any of us to say Tate is this type of guy, we don't know what type of guy he is.
It's a performance.
Right?
It's an embellishment.
If you want to judge his character online, that's fine. But I value and I admire how big he is in such short time.
Yes.
That's huge.
That's what I was going to say. Because I just said that on there and I was like, if anybody sees this and they're like, oh my God, this.
No, he's a major celebrity on every single platform and everybody knows his name.
Yeah.
You know? So that I admire, and I think that he's really, really cool at what he does. And I actually think that he's really smart and intellectual, and he knows how to articulate his words
you gotta
better
respect
than everyone else. He's a really great speaker.
Yeah. Get your Bugattis, drink your sparkling water, all that shit. So
if you can speak, that can take you so far.
Yeah, man. 100%.
He's a great speaker.
Yeah.
And captivating. You can captivate an audience and you can keep them going.
He has a cult following right now.
It's huge. Huge.
Does that be a potential client for you?
I mean, I'd work with him. I'm open to working with anyone.
We'll probably offer to buy the whole thing, but honestly, but that's awesome, dude. Jordan, thank you so much for coming on, bro.
Yeah, Jordan, thank you.
Great time. I mean, I'm excited to put this out. I'm excited for people to learn and take some notes from this. Because like I said, you really did a great job just marketing yourself and putting yourself in positions to build your business and that you are passionate about and that you love. And we respect that in the loft, and we love conversations like that. So once again, dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
6 shoes
Absolutely. Too. Yes, we like your shoes too. I'm Kev Nichols, Paige Pullman, Jordan Lulu, Rob Rudolph. Peace, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Peace.